Hey everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we're taking a look at how the Yakima RidgeBack hanging rack fits on the 2023 Honda Odyssey. So the Yakima RidgeBack is a solid rack when it comes to carrying around multiple bikes, but also does it safely and securely. You've got some premium features, you've got your ZipStrips, you have the ability to add an integrated cable lock, plus you have locks for the rack itself. Now you can also get the 4 or the 5 bike version. We have the 4 version here. The 5 bike version works the exact same way. It's just a little bit longer. So the ability to carry around multiple bikes also means you take up more space. Measuring from our bumper to the end of the rack is going to be 42 inches. The cradles sit about 5.5 inches apart. So the 5 bike version will add a little bit more space or length to the back of that one. Now, the way this holds on to your bike's frame is you have 1, 2, and 3 touch points. That third touch point is the anti-sway cage. So if you get your frame up there, you can see how there might be a little bit of sway there, but compare that to when you take that zip strip out. And now you have much more. So when you get 4 or 5 bikes on your rack, you want to make sure you get as little sway as possible, or they will all just sway together. Now with the zip strips out and pushing the cradle in, you are now able to move the bike and take it off of the rack. Now pretty much any hanging rack is going to be a little tricky when moving or putting bikes on and removing them. So definitely keep that in mind. That also for your alternate frame bikes, like your women's bikes or your children's bikes or your step-through frames, you may need to get a separate frame adapter bar so that they are all level. Now these cradles have a little groove on the inside for your cables. You also have this rubber padding just to give you some grip and cushion on those frames. And then these zip strips live up to name. You just zip down in there. I highly recommend when your bikes are not on the rack, just keep the zip strips up there so that they stay there and you don't lose them. All right, with all that in place, we talked about the length of the bike rack with this fully extended. You can actually bring this down though very easily, and it takes up less space. So measuring from your bumper to the end of the rack right over here, that sits at 14 inches. Big difference compared to when the arms were down or were up. Now, if you pull that other lever, you have a really deep tilt away. So even though you have a big door on your Honda Odyssey, it's able to open up and you now have a lot more space inside here. So if you can, or if you need to grab your larger items or hang out in your hatch, you can do so even with the bike rack on. You cannot tilt this away with the bikes on though. So if that's a feature you're looking for, check out our platform racks with a tilt-away feature. Now with this, you are going to get an 1.25 inch shank with a 2-inch adapter. I know the Honda Odyssey has 2 options, so if possible, get the 2-inch version. This sits up a good height, but you still have full visibility through your rear window. Your taillights are obviously visible. Your backup camera is offset to the driver's side. It sits right there in that opening of your rack. So what's going to happen is when you go into reverse, you will see the bike rack in your view, but you will still be able to see if there's any cars behind you. So all in all, the Yakima RidgeBack is a solid option. If possible, I do recommend checking out the 5 bike version because it's going to be pretty much the same in terms of the size, but you have the ability to carry around more bikes. So if your Honda Odyssey is fully loaded with your friends, your family, and you all want to go for a bike ride, definitely something worth considering. If you want an affordable rack that's platform though, and can carry 4 bikes, check out the Hollywood Racks Destination 4 as an option. But this right here was a look at the Yakima RidgeBack hanging rack on the 2023 Honda Odyssey.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. And finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.